We gotta play the video.
Nope. Okay.
Inebriated Insights with Mark Hahn.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Inebriated Insights. We're back in my apartment with my shirts in the background and my closet partially open because we can't go outside. We're going to do the rules slightly differently with the drinking game this time. We're going to have one word that we all drink to. Tonight it's going to be anything having to do with infection. And then between each segment, I felt like we weren't drinking enough during the show. So we're all going to be chugging or taking a shot in between segments. And what's the sound effect for that, Dave?
Oh, God, hold on here.
You blew it.
Is that the sound effect? Let's record that, use that as a sound bite, and that's the sound effect. We're just saying you blew it.
You blew it.
See, and the beauty of the social distancing is we don't have to hear that on our drives home from blowing a .08 or whatever.
Yeah, no drinking and driving.
It was so stretched. That was so stretched what I just tried to do there.
All right.
Look, we all do that sometimes, I guess.
So what's going on, Mark?
All right. Shall we get into it?
Fucking do it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Into it. First segment.
Oh, let's introduce people, man. Who do we got talking tonight?
Oh, we have some of my favorite people. From the Reconstruction, Christine Tarvett.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Thanks.
Everyone's favorite child actor.
Yep.
Turned computer programmer, Jared Kaufman.
Oh, hey, that's me. How's it going? I don't program computers.
Jared,
Wait, you were a child actor, though? That part was real?
He's got more
credit
than like any other like improv theater combined. It's insane.
Quite
I did a bunch of stuff.
Too. I really recommend his episode of Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Also,
Classic.
have you
On
seen
Disney Plus.
Have you seen the lightning crashes video by Live? Yeah, he's a little boy in it. Not the one that gets aborted, but the other brother. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the placenta.
Yeah.
No.
No, a little too late. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was the placenta.
My mistake.
And then they ate it. And then we have local official and improviser Tim Jennings.
Hello, I'm very official.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your role, Tim? What do you do?
I'm the South Atwater representative of the Atwater Village Neighborhood Council.
Oh.
But of course, now that I've said that, I must say that everything I say on this show from here on out is not representative of the Atwater Village Neighborhood Council whatsoever.
That's good. Make that official.
Far from it.
Yeah.
And then we have everyone's favorite father of two and a man who won't get married for quite some time because of all of this.
Yep.
Dave Stratton.
Yay! All right, what do you got for us, Mark?
All right, let's jump into it, and let's all chug first.
Oh.
Ah. It's not good to chug Malbec.
Oh.
All right.
I didn't say why.
And we're about to take another drink. You'll see. This week, Republican governors in states like Georgia, Florida, and Iowa announced that they will be opening parts of their economy and certain types of businesses this week, despite warnings from health experts that the U.S. currently lacks the testing capability and stockpile of PPE to reopen the economy safely. This has led some to question the motives of governors pushing for their states to reopen. Tim, why do you think some states are going against the advice of experts, and why has this become a partisan issue?
Because, the simple answer to that is because everything is a partisan issue. There isn't anything that could come up that won't become a partisan issue. People take sides over everything, whether they're wrong or not. This should not be. People get sick or they don't get sick. It shouldn't be a partisan issue, but it is, because that's the world we live in now, unfortunately. Or I shouldn't say the world we live in, that's the country we live in right now. Why are certain states... why is this happening in certain states? Well, I heard a theory on this that I think is pretty accurate. Certain state governors don't want to pay unemployment, and if they intentionally send their citizens back to work, they can't. The citizens can then either go to work and get sick or not get sick, or they cannot go to work and then they can't claim unemployment. And that seems pretty
Right.
plausible to me.
And judging by the businesses that they're opening, like nail salons, these are lower class businesses that they're forcing to open. Jed, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I would go and say, I mean, these are people that they would consider
Right.
expendable.
Expendable. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is a basic issue of it comes around to the classic right wing argument of freedom. It's the classic situation of individual responsibility. All of these ideas of I should have the right to choose to do the right thing. It's this classic thing you come up with all the time of they're typically against any sort of welfare programs or any of the efforts that are made to try to help other people. It's a case of, no, you should never, ever compel me to do that. I should get to choose to do it. Whether or not they actually do it is irrelevant. And most of the time they won't. But it's this case of, no, how dare you make me be a good person? And so I feel like a lot of time it comes down to that, of just anything that someone is compelled to do, whether or not they would do it. And sometimes they would. Absolutely. I genuinely believe that some of these people would socially distance if given the choice, if not only simply because they can see that it would protect them. If self-interest is the idea here, a lot of these people would happily stay at home to protect themselves, unless their hair grows a little too long. But that's really what it comes down to for a lot of them, is it's the age-old political thing of, you can't tell me what to do. And these are the same people who would, yeah, absolutely, if you mandated you're not allowed to go off a cliff. I mean, this is the classic seatbelt issue all over again. It's whenever we mandate any sort of safety regulation that absolutely makes sense and absolutely saves lives, a certain contingency gets really angry that you told them what to do.
I think it's because they're 5. They're toddlers trapped in adult bodies, aging, doughy, usually white.
See, I think that it's more about the news cycle. It's a cycle. It's if Fox News was telling all these people that, no, you should stay home because this is a serious virus, I guarantee there's none of these protests. I guarantee nobody wants to go back to work. It's crazy because Fox News reports some bullshit, then Trump watches Fox News instead of listening to his own advisors or listening to his Security Intelligence Committee or Council or whatever. And then he goes out and he tweets and he talks about this in these bullshit press conferences that he runs that liberate Michigan and rise up and we need to get this country back to work, and that the cure is worse than the actual disease, all this bullshit, and then everybody fucking believes it, and then they inflate all this stuff that, oh, look at all of these people going out and protesting, when it's really like 66% of people still want these stay-at-home measures until this shit gets better.
I'd just like to point out, too, that Fox News, even though they've peddled a bunch of conspiracy theories, they have advised their own employees to stay home.
Yeah.
They've also fired some people over having peddled the conspiracy theories. Again, not because Fox News has a conscience, but because they do have lawyers. And so at a certain point, they recognize when they have created massive liability for themselves. And so they will back off on certain things. But I think Fox News isn't quite as powerful as they seem to be. I mean, they absolutely are the mouthpiece for an insane amount of bullshit, and they do this. But you'll notice anytime they disagree with President Trump, which is happening surprisingly more and more frequently lately, because he's getting worse and worse to the point where even Fox News can't defend him, then he goes off the rails about the fact that Fox News isn't even on his side, and clearly things are changing at Fox News, and something very suspicious is happening over there. And his followers will absolutely agree with him. So if it reaches the point where Fox News is actively against Trump, they'll go down, and the followers will still follow Trump. However, via whatever his government nationalized news organization is that he ends up setting up to replace Fox News. So it's still, in the end, it comes down to Trump. And I feel like even for the most part, Fox News has distanced themselves from like the hydrochloroquine promotion and stuff like that. But his followers are still excitedly doing whatever the hell he remotely suggests. I mean, we've seen all of these people sick or dead from attempting to actually do the Clorox and Lysol crap that he hinted at. Like, that's actually happened.
Christine, what do you make of a very stable genius's suggestion that we inject Clorox into our bloodstream, or that we expose ourselves to large amounts of UV lights?
Hold on, is this the second question here?
No.
Okay. Still on the first question? Sorry.
The follow-up.
Yeah.
Well, for a follow-up, I think it's a great idea. I mean, look, I say experiment. I say if you can shoot sunshine up your ass, do it.
Your mind.
I think Trump is the sunshine that you can shoot up your ass. He's just really that little rainbow. No, I watched it and I was just like, oh, people are going to do this immediately. I was like, yeah, people are going to do this and people are going to get sick. And what was the best part about it was how smug he was. He was like, well, I've been thinking about this and they're going to test it. And I'm like, oh God, he's so stupid.
Well, what was clear from his response was that he was not listening during his own briefing. Somebody came up there and said all of the things he said, but not related to how he was portraying them. Like, somebody was like, yes, UV rays will kill COVID-19. Yes, disinfectants will kill COVID-19, but not in the human body. But our president is such a fucking idiot that he's like, oh, he must be talking in medical terms. This is a medical person, right?
As a person with ADHD, he really makes me feel focused on topic and like I can pay attention like the sharpest person. He makes me feel like a stable genius, is what I'm saying.
To be fair, if you did ingest Clorox, it would kill the virus. It would just kill you as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And to see so many of his followers like bend over backwards to justify it was mwah.
Oh, one thing that's been amazing watching, I've seen a bunch of memes because on Reddit I follow a couple different subreddits related to showing off some of the crazy right-wing memes, and they have all of these different memes about how insane it is that they have to talk. That left-wingers are listening to Trump and believing that they have to ingest Clorox and Lysol. Like, there's all these memes they've made about how insane it is that they have to talk us out of doing this. It's like, what? No, none of the left-wingers are out here saying we trust Trump. We are all making fun of you for the fact that members of your party are definitely doing this. This isn't theoretical, like you come against us. We are laughing because we know for a fact people on your side are actively ingesting these chemicals.
We're going to go ahead and move on, but we're all going to take a shot of Clorox first.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually had this. I actually had this ready. I didn't know we were going to do it, but I didn't have it.
Right.
All right.
Whoa, that's not good going down. Not good going down. But the COVID-19 is gone.
But it's gone.
This is my silver Patron from my wedding. It was a wedding gift I got because I'm separated from my wife right now thanks to this quarantine because we live apart and we can't see each other.
Not
it's
legally
45
separated?
days.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Let's go
It's
ahead
insane.
and talk about someone who can see their wife, Jared.
How about that?
Earlier
For now.
After 60,000 confirmed U.S. deaths and counting, Trump's son-in-law and what were a result of nepotism achieved human form. Jared Kushner called the Trump administration's response to the COVID-19 crisis a great success story. That's a drink. Jet, what are you most proud of in terms of the Trump administration's response to this global pandemic?
I'm most proud of the fact that my first name is spelled Jarrett and not Jared. So I'm a little bit less likely to get those comparisons.
And your Jet.
Yes, and I go by Jet to go even further. Sorry, restate that question for me one more time, because I was apparently my ADHD was kicking in.
What are you most proud of in terms of the Trump administration's response to this global pandemic?
I am most proud of the fact that 2 million people have not died as was initially projected, because frankly, I expected us to double that and it to be a proud talking point, because of course we always have to be the biggest and the best, and if we were going to lose, then we might as well lose extra spectacularly. So if honestly, I think what I am impressed by is how many states said, fuck this shit, we're going to handle this the right way on our own. We're here in California. I believe all of us are California based. We have Gavin Newsom, who's really stepped up, not just stepped up for California, but stepped up to create these coalitions with other states to pool their resources. They did this amazing thing where basically these states united together under some greater ideal,
like
some kind of maybe American principle or something. Yeah. And work together collectively to pool their resources and help one another out as though that they were something bigger than themselves.
Like a nation.
It was, yeah, like some sort of nation, right? Yeah, it's like it's an incredible idea. It's been amazing to watch it in principle. I've never seen anything like that in my lifetime. And it's really nice to watch these completely unrelated states come together and help one another. But no, seriously, that is what I've been most impressed by. And it's incredibly depressing that I have to be impressed by that. But the fact that, I mean, this is a rare case where, and this has happened for Trump's entire presidency, but he's really consistently made the case for states' rights to me that I never, ever had before him. Because it's definitely been the situation where I desperately want the states to have the right to fucking ignore him. And right now it's being proven so well.
Absolutely. That's here. Yes, I completely agree with that. Yep.
Christine, does this whole thing make you question the concept of having a strong federal government?
It does if Trump's in charge of that federal government. I think what we're seeing here actually is that we do need a strong federal government, but a moral one, not one run by a gangster who's incompetent, completely psychopathic and narcissistic. Because while I feel very safe living here in California, I don't feel safe for my family in other states. And I feel terrible for people who live in states like Georgia or Iowa or Florida, where they just have these governors who don't give a crap. And so, but it's actually, though, in some ways, it's made me question democracy. Mm-hmm. I think the whole Trump presidency, I'm like, maybe this whole monarchy. No, but I mean, it's just been, it just goes to show how important the balance is between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Dave, any thoughts?
Sorry, I'm trying to play producer role and think also at the same time.
Yeah, get it together, man.
I can throw in something real quick while you do your thinking. Yeah, I was just going to say that it also speaks to, once again, electoral college is very problematic, and our lack of ranked voting or range voting or any of the voting systems that allow you to say, I want this candidate most, but I would happily settle for this candidate and this one would be okay, but none of the rest, or so on. Like, there's a variety of different voting systems that work in various ways, but they let you say not merely this is the only person I want, but this is the person I want most. And there's amazing methods where all that comes together and gives you the candidate that overall is still the most liked and most qualified. And historically, it's always given a better result if we pass that through the elections than what we got. And we wouldn't be in the mess we're in now with him. And if I assume we're going to get into potentially some issues with the Democratic nominees, like we may have had a better chance of a lot of people being able to say, allow people to have made strategic choices while also voting for the people they actually liked. And we have a better shot across the board.
Can I ask you this?
Sorry.
Do you think that the American populace could actually do that?
I mean, they can't seem to punch a card currently, so I'm not sure it's much better or worse.
Yeah.
But it's a fair question, and I have asked myself
that they would be able to do that.
Yeah.
You would have to stay very informed to have multiple candidates that you had paid attention to.
Yeah.
I don't even think you have to stay very informed, just informed.
Right, like the littlest amount of
like the smallest amount. Yeah. And the fact is that I don't understand how people don't know some of these candidates, or I have no clue, but, they show over and over again that, they can't even sometimes name the VP.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mike Pence. I know.
Dean's all over it. We're going to go ahead and move on.
Johnny No Man.
I never got my chance to respond.
Moving right along.
Oh, fine. No, I was just, like I always say, man, we need a candidate that will act for the people, the majority of the people, and not act in special interests, not act for people who are paying for campaigns, not act for the small 1% of the wealthy, and actually, maybe do something for the majority of people. Like,
right, Dave, you pinko communist.
I know, it's such a terrible idea.
Now we're all going to chug.
Oh, yes, here we go. Here it comes.
Great job with that music cue. It came right on time.
Right on the spot.
Here we go. After Donald Trump suggested that scientists would test treating COVID-19, that's a drink, patients with strong beams of light, we talked about this, and injecting bleach into their veins, the White House decided to scale back on the president delivering COVID-19 press briefings and will reportedly do more press based around the economy, which they view as one of Trump's strengths. Christine, do you think that this will be an effective campaign strategy? I have an idea. I know how you're going to answer this.
No, your psychic powers.
And
there's 30 million people unemployed right now. 30 million people. That's about 18.5% unemployment rate. It's not going to work for him. I think in his mind it does, because all of his billionaire friends are making, or non-friends, but still billionaires, are making a lot of money right now. But the people aren't. And I think that I truly, like, my biggest fear is that he'll be reelected, but I truly think that the wine is getting to me. The combination of the virus handling and the economy tanking and nothing happening, I'm really hoping that as long as the Russians don't, get too in there, that he will not be reelected.
Well,
don't hold me to
Russia
it.
just
cocktail of bullshit. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I was saying that the Russian prime minister, which I didn't know there was a prime minister, I see how lack of knowledge on Russian politics that I have, he actually tested positive for COVID-19.
I think you mean the Wuhan flu.
Ah, yes, the laboratory created.
The PEG Asian American.
I refuse to drink for the Wuhan flu.
Good. But the thing is, too, is like, he's not doing the press briefings, but I work in social media. So unfortunately, I have to be on social media, and on Twitter, he's constant. I mean, it's a constant barrage of just garbage that spews directly from his brain through his fingertips and onto the computer screen. And so he is getting out whatever bizarre messaging that he wants to get out, like that China has created this in a lab, and he's seen the evidence. And so,
he doesn't use a computer screen. He uses a jitterbug. He sits on the toilet. It's a fucking jitterbug.
I didn't really want to think about him on the toilet, but
all right, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, man, I can't top toilet.
I think this idea of him staying quiet on this subject will not work, mainly because he won't actually stay quiet. His narcissism will not allow him to not talk. Like, this strategy has, if I remember correctly, they've employed this strategy a couple times historically, where they've reduced his conferences and had him be quiet for a little while. And he'll get right back up there very quickly as soon as he forgets why, or as soon as he doesn't care why he's been shut up. And he's right back in there happily spewing his nonsense because, again, the thing he cares about more than anything else in the entire universe is ratings.
Yeah.
Like, that's all he talks about every time he holds any press conference.
Yeah.
And he can't be getting great ratings if he's not up there talking.
Yeah, I mean, he's a reality TV show host or producer. So he thinks every day of his presidency is just a reality television show, or he's trying to get ratings, and he's like, where's my 2-camera interview? Why can't I talk about my feelings about this? That kind of shit.
Yeah, that was a really good impression.
Yeah, that was the worst. That was the worst impression ever.
I got chills. I got chills. It's like, is he here? Is he listening in this conversation?
I gotta wave my arms
under
like
arrest?
this, like I have an accordion or something like that. And then I gotta mimic other people who do like I can't even do it.
Philip Wilburn. Get Philip Wilburn on here.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Jim. What were you saying? Nothing?
I don't know.
I was thinking
I was done,
today about how...
You know what I wanted to throw in here that I didn't put in the outline because I couldn't find enough sources that substantiated it, but it's that Trump often treats Mike Pence like Michael Jordan treated Jerry Krause in the 90s.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Scottie Pippen.
He just makes fun of him unceaselessly and is like, I could dump you as my running mate at any time. And
I haven't heard that. Tell me more about this. I've not seen this in action. I couldn't find enough trustworthy news sources to put it in the outline, but there is just this rumor that he constantly tortures Mike Pence, and that this is why Mike Pence wouldn't wear a mask at Mayo Clinic. He was trying to appeal to Trump.
Wow.
I could dump you at any time.
I believe it.
I wouldn't. Is there, can somebody, one of you guys has a knowledge of constitutional law here, but is there anything that says that Trump can't dump Pence as his VP as he heads into the next election?
No, he doesn't have to have him as.
Oh my God, he's psycho. He will absolutely pick a different vice president. Like, that is so in his wheelhouse to choose another vice president, and he will choose the person who dealt with this pandemic the worst.
He's going to pick Vince McMahon. So he's like, well, he already failed at XFL twice, he might as well go ahead.
Yeah, there's a history of presidents who switched vice presidents in their second term.
Wow.
Do we think he's going to pick a robot the next time, or will he pick a human?
Is he capable of recognizing what a human is?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
There are also reports.
Sort of.
I mean, look at all of the people who were in his family. Look at the people he's appointed to every position. I mean, it's hard to find a human in the bunch.
Well, they're all kind of like serial killer type humans. I think Mike Pence is straight up android.
Yeah.
That's just my. I have nothing to back that up. I just think he's an android.
We're gonna go ahead and move on, so we're all gonna chug.
Okay. You reached your goal. We're definitely drinking more this time than we did last time.
I'm gonna have to play video games after this. Jeez.
Presumptive Democratic nominee Uncle Joe Biden will reportedly pick his running mate soon, and because he really wanted to pander to progressives, it's going to be a woman. So the names that have been floated out there include Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Tammy Baldwin, Stacey Abrams, Gretchen Whitmer. We'll go ahead and start with you, Dave. Who do you think you should pick? Who's the most strategic pick?
So I feel that my gut, I would love to have Elizabeth Warren, just because, again, she's a lot like Bernie, Democratic Socialist. She actually cares about the people, wants to improve our nation for the 98% of the people that are there, abolish the Electoral College, get special interests out, overturn Citizens United, all that stuff. But I honestly don't feel she would be the best in this scenario, because taking her out of the Senate would mean that Massachusetts would have to choose another senator, and there's a good chance
the governor's Republican.
They could get a Republican. So there's two things that we got to remember in this November. In November, we have to have replace Trump and switch the Senate. So it's not smart to take out a Democratic senator to be the VP, because there's a good chance that a Republican senator could replace that person, and then we're all fucked again. Same thing with the senator from Wisconsin. What's her name again, Mark? Baldwin, yeah. She would be a good VP. I don't know a whole lot about her, but they're taking her seat out of Wisconsin. And
the governor of Wisconsin is a Democrat.
I'm sorry.
And I'm not sure if they have a election.
Wait. She's a senator of Wisconsin, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so taking her out of the Senate, Wisconsin's kind of a swing state, mostly goes blue, but if you were to take her out of the Senate, there's a good chance you could get another Republican senator in there.
Wisconsin is a wild card.
Yeah. So my choice is the fear's hitting me. Tammy Brown? No, that's not right.
Tammy Brown is a drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race.
I'm
for that.
No.
Yep.
The one who should have won the Georgia governor.
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams. Sorry, I feel that's the best candidate right there. The Michigan candidate, the governor, I think she would do a good job as well. But right now, Republicans hate her, and so what's going on is if you put a person in the VP slot for a running mate that Republicans hate, we'll have Hillary all over again, and nobody will vote for Biden. Ideally, I think Michelle Obama would be great to just kind of like bring back that dream team again. But I really think Stacey is the way to go. That's my vote.
Tim, what do you think?
I'm sorry. Is that you asked me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I think that Elizabeth Warren, he has to pick Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
He has to. Why?
And he has to. I think I'm not worried that if Elizabeth Warren leaves the Senate, that her district is going to pick a Republican. So I think losing her in the Senate, if she leaves the Senate and wins, I think they'll pick another Democrat. A Democrat will rise, and that seat will remain Democrat.
I believe that Massachusetts is a state where the governor appoints a senator in an open Senate race. So Charlie Baker could pick a Republican.
Wow.
Ah, no, I didn't know that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those states. Wisconsin.
Regardless, you have to I still think Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden on a ticket is the most powerful ticket you can have.
Totally.
Because it balances out what Joe Biden isn't for people with what he is. Now, that will not in any way, shape, or form suffice to people who want Bernie Sanders to be president, because they dislike both those people.
Yeah.
But at least Elizabeth Warren is progressive. And, Joe Biden is old. He's going to die in office. We all know that. So Elizabeth Warren will then be president. And so I think that's what you're voting for. Governor Whitmer, she can't be the running mate right now. She has a state to run, and her state is some crazy shit's going on in her state right now.
Man.
But, so, Christine, you're a Bernie supporter. Would you be down with Elizabeth Warren, or would you rather have a different candidate?
No, I mean, my preference would be Elizabeth Warren. That would be my preference for the VP. My fear is it's going to be Kamala, which I don't mind Kamala per se, but man, people, I had to take her off my Facebook because people hate her. They hate her so much. They are so gross to her.
Is that because of her prosecution record? Is there something about?
I think it's this thing that she has, which is a vagina,
and a black one at that.
And she's a black woman. So you put those two things together, and it's literally all men on her Facebook, in her Facebook comments, just calling her names. Just names, like nasty names, or like posting pictures of somebody with like 100 hot dogs in their mouths and telling her that that's what she should be like. That was my favorite. But like, so I don't want it to be Kamala, and I'm not like a huge Kamala fan. I think she's kind of fake. I'd love for it to be Elizabeth Warren. I do like Stacey Abrams, but she's a little untested, you know what I mean? Right. So Elizabeth would be my choice.
But like Stacey Abrams, though, like she would hopefully pull in that Georgia vote. I don't know how many electoral votes there are.
I don't know if anything's going to pull in the Georgia vote, but
16.
But like Kamala, I wouldn't discourage that. I mean, Stacey Abrams is also an African American female. So, but
what?
So, but I feel that like having someone who's in like a Republican, a red state, having that be your vice president, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
No, I mean, I get that. I just think that there's not a lot that's going to get the core Trump supporters. Look, if everything that guy has done has not stopped people from supporting him, adding a black person and a woman is not going to make them vote Democrat. No. It does not matter where they're from.
I think they're
okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you want to give your 2 cents? Who would you like to see?
I mean, who I'd like is very different from what will happen. I'm on the exact same page because, of course, Elizabeth Warren was my presidential candidate the entire time. So I want her in some position of power no matter what. Yes, I agree with the fear of losing her in the Senate. B, it's just not going to happen. I mean, I was seeing an article today that a lot of Biden's financial supporters are putting pressure on him to not pick Elizabeth Warren as his running mate. So for that alone, and for the fact that I know one of the things he spoke about as to what he loved so much about the Obama-Biden presidency was how overall they were on the same page and thought very similarly on so many issues. I don't think he wants to pick a VP who is the stark 180-degree opposite of him. I think he should. I think the old team of rivals concept is beneficial in a lot of ways, but it's not going to happen. I don't think that's what he wants. So what we're going to get is something very different, and I think we're probably going to get something disappointing. It's not going to be quite the level of, say, the insanity that was picking Sarah Palin because all they wanted to do was desperately find someone with the vagina. But what we are going to, and again, to go back to that, it's so incredible how desperately men want vaginas but hate the people who have them. No. I don't understand how that works.
I don't vagina people who have.
No, okay, sorry. Hashtag not all men. Anyway, but I think we're going to get either someone incredibly disappointing who's just the Mike Pence of women, who is just someone who's going to be incredibly inoffensive and unobjectionable, and it just doesn't actually stand out at all because, okay, technically we got a woman, and now nobody has anything they can say nasty about her other than the fact that she's a woman. But the next thing I'm hoping would be like a Stacey Abrams.
The Mike Pence of women?
Yeah, like, who is that? Like Martha Stewart? Like,
no.
I would happily take Martha Stewart had a show with Snoop Dogg. Like, I would happily take her at this point.
Martha Stewart's been in the Who Scout. Come on.
Right.
Is she allowed to run for office being a convicted
Oh, yeah, she's a felon. She can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn
it. She can't even vote.
But I do think Stacey Abrams would be a relatively good choice, and I think one of the obvious safe choices. I do think it's problematic from the angle of, as has been pointed out by others, she did lose her election. I mean, it was a close one. It was beautifully close, and we actually thought we had a chance there.
It was a Republican conspiracy.
But like to claim that, for instance, that gives her Georgia, no, technically it doesn't because it didn't give her Georgia before. So that might not be enough, but she does have some clout to pull off of. I am kind of afraid it's going to be Kamala. I'm okay with Kamala like other people are, but I do feel like there's some issues there. I don't love her record, but I think she would be a pretty decent one. The thing I'm most afraid of, and I think is very likely, is someone like Klobuchar. Like, I think Klobuchar would be the safest choice for him because she's the least diverged from his positions. It would just be that simpatico thing of, okay, who's a woman who agrees with me and who had a shot because she was polling above
like
0%.
Super polar.
If
Like
Mike
they were both
here-
the same.
Vomit in a pail right now. He hates her so much.
Wait, who he hates? Who?
Mike Townsend hates Amy Klobuchar.
Oh, that's
He
right.
uses her-
Yeah, he's not here. He had some dental work.
Oh yeah.
So what's wrong? Like he said that he would take Michelle Obama in a heartbeat. So is it her that doesn't want to run?
He doesn't want it.
She doesn't want it.
He does not.
My biggest question is, why have I not been contacted?
Yeah,
That's fair.
Carmen for
Thank
our vice
you.
president.
Are you?
She's got a vagina.
President?
Oh my God, who just asked if I was old enough to be president? Bless you.
I'm gonna give my.
Can I ask a question? I know.
Oh, this is unorthodox.
A bit about Stacey Abrams. Not to pull a wrestling card here, but how is she on the mic?
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah,
She spits bars. No, I don't know. I don't really know that much. I mean, like, I didn't follow her that much, so I don't know why I'm talking.
I mean, she gave a very, very, very serious competition as a black woman to a was he the incumbent, right? The governor?
The Secretary of State. That's how he won the election through purging voter roll.
That's right. Yeah. But like a strong Republican in a rather right-wing state. I mean, it obviously, like a lot of right-wing states, it has its liberal pockets, and it's got Atlanta, which is very mixed, but it's overall a pretty classically right-wing state. And she really nearly had that election, and that alone was pretty damn impressive. Given everything against her.
It was a Republican conspiracy.
Well, and that's probably
it totally
true.
Was, Dave. They purged like 200,000 people from the voting rolls, and
she lost by less than that.
And of course, if we respect the value and importance of the black vote, which historically has been the thing that the Democrats always need to have to win the election, not even speaking of the fact that she's black, but speaking of the fact that, yeah, she lost due to this disenfranchisement of black voters. Like that alone is a very powerful dog whistle to people of, here's someone who represents the way we consistently have been disenfranchised by the right wing. So I think she's a symbolic at minimum. I think she's qualified. I think she's capable based on how well she did. But I think alone she symbolizes exactly the oppression that so many voters are looking to overturn. So that could help purely from that standpoint. Although Biden, I understand, does relatively well among black voters anyway, but I think that would help. And it would also be like I love Michelle Obama, but I don't want another Obama-Biden presidency. Like I hate lineages. I hate this idea of every president or every other president is another Bush or another Clinton or another whatever. Let's get fresh blood in there. And so just flipping the script is weird. Was that Dave?
Oh, I was saying you don't like Tom Brady and Belichick and the Patriots, or you don't care about sports.
Right. I am absolutely a sports guy and understood that reference completely.
Six Super Bowls in 20 years. I think it should be Tammy Baldwin. I think it's a slam dunk. She's a very popular progressive senator from Wisconsin. If you win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, you win the election. And she won Wisconsin by 10 points. I think she would swing the state. I personally think it's a slam dunk, and I think she's great.
I do think we're likely to get someone. I think there's a very good chance of us getting someone we're all not incredibly familiar with, like not someone who's been a front of the line person, not one of the candidates. Exactly.
Thank you. I'm right here.
Yep, you're in.
And Tammy Baldwin is for Medicare for all. She's a very progressive senator. She happens to be part of the LGBTQ population.
Oh wow, Tammy Baldwin's. I'm all over this Tammy Baldwin situation.
Me too.
I'm glad I've converted you guys.
Now, so you just suddenly made me want to make a sketch about LGBTQAnon.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know what that's going to be, but it's going to be a thing, and it's going to be great.
Donald Trump's like, fuck Fox News. You want to go to LGBTQAnon? They're the source to get your news from now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you need to start that. That's the thing. You could really bank on that. LGBT.
The kids are really into TikTok, Jet, and I think you should go ahead and make an account.
It's lesbians and Pizzagate.
Oh my God, it's
Yes,
everything I love.
lesbians and Pizzagate.
Everything I love.
Exactly.
Lesbians, pizza, and gates. They're the three greatest things.
So we're going to go ahead and chug and then go into our segment.
God, nailing it on that tech timing.
I got it loaded up so that I can play it. Yeah!
Load her up.
So,
Oh, no.
Christine, you have been on fire this show, so I'm going to start with you. Who should fuck off this week?
Oh my. Let me think. I think Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Because he is a weenie. Like he's just a wiener. And the fact that he gets on like the PR guy from Iraq, and saying, "Oh, this is great. We did such a great. Oh, this is great." We can't stand him. He's so phlegmatic and like pale, and his whole family is full of criminals, and we're supposed to listen to this like weenie frat bro, and his ideas on how to fix a pandemic. It's insulting. I'm an American citizen, and that is insulting. Thank you, Jared Kushner.
Jet, it's good to have you back on the show. Who should fuck off?
I mean, it's hard to ever get the name Mitch McConnell out of my head when asked that question.
Oh,
I don't feel like he did anything incredibly specific right now. I mean, of course he had the bankruptcy thing and all of that. But who's the governor who specifically this week said that anyone who refuses to return to work is basically denied unemployment claims and unemployment benefits? I forgot her name. I don't even remember what state it was. Iowa. God,
Iowa.
yeah, I'm so unprepared right now for this, but yeah, there's a governor basically stated if we're reopening for work, if your industry is allowed to reopen for work and you don't return to work, then you are basically stating a refusal to return, and you are denied unemployment benefits. Like, that's the entire thing that so many people were afraid of with these states returning, was this idea of, now I am compelled to put myself in danger because you have decided not to protect me anymore, and I will get denied unemployment claims. And she is absolutely directly saying, that's correct. So whoever the hell that is, because of course I didn't do my research, can fuck off.
I think she's Governor Corn. She's from Iowa. All right.
Corn.
Christine, have you seen a young Jared Kushner? Because I don't know what happened, but he used to be really hot.
What?
Yeah.
Say what?
I don't believe you.
I don't know.
No, seriously, like, Google,
send me pictures because I don't believe it.
I
don't know. He's no Paul Ryan.
Now that guy has a widow's peak for days, huh?
Yeah.
As a local elected official, I'm slurring my words. Who should fuck off?
Well, nobody around me, because California is awesome.
Yeah.
But who should fuck off this week? Anybody who's going to bring a high-capacity magazine-loaded semi-automatic rifle to a peaceful protest should fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, we get what's going on. I understand what they're doing. They're telling people you should be afraid because we live in your state and we have giant guns and we are willing to go to your state capital because we're white and we receive there's no repercussions for us bringing these guns here. And you should be scared of us. Fuck them for that.
Yeah.
Fuck them. And most of these people who are bringing these guns here wouldn't use them in a million years because the people they're going to be using them against are police officers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there are some psychos who would, and fuck them.
Yeah. Well, it's just like those people. They like, if those people were in California and they were to march on the Capitol, they would be dead like that. Like, it's like there's no rhyme or reason for that bullshit. Like, I don't understand how they can get into that damn Capitol with those types of munitions there. It's insane. It's the
law in their states. That's the problem. There's the laws in their states allow them that freedom, but they're abusing it. Nobody who would respect that freedom would do that. It's like it's akin to like somebody who studies karate, like going out and practicing karate in front of people to show them how awesome they are at karate. Like nobody would do that. These people they practice it on their own, and but if you're a respectful gun owner, you don't carry your shit out into public. That's somebody who's not a respectful gun owner, and then these people are bullshit.
Dave, you were in a horrific car accident and you've reproduced twice. Who should fuck off?
That's a really heavy statement there, man. You're just like,
oh,
I'm gonna
best
tell you
segue.
your whole life story here.
I have so many questions after that.
Yeah, I was like, what? Where is all this coming from? And with that being said, Mike Pence. Because he didn't wear a goddamn fucking mask at the Mayo Clinic, man. Give me a fucking break, man. Like, there are sick people there, and it's their policy.
To be fair, he's a robot.
Yeah,
So he
He's
can't
immune. Yeah, he's immune.
Sorry, I'll shut up now.
It's unreal. Like, I feel like at least the Secret Service should be like, sir, you're entering a place where there's several very sick people that you could contract this disease and you could die. But no, he's like, no, I am the vice president. I mean, did his wife say that he couldn't wear a mask into there because she wasn't present or something? I don't know.
I saw a headline this week that said she told him to wear a mask from now on.
Like,
He defied mother?
No. After that situation, he then decided to wear a mask. He went to a GM rally because you know how cars are essential.
Well, the car companies are all in this together with us.
Yeah, because there's so many people who need cars right now. My car sits out in the fucking driveway collecting dust, and I've been on 4 gallons, or no, I have 4 miles until it's empty, and it's been like that for a while now. But anyways, the guy is a fucking nutcase, man. He claims that he's a Christian, and it's like he does everything that's not Christian-like. If you ever studied anything about Christianity, you got to be Christ-like. You got to have love and all this bullshit. But he is far beyond that. He's a fucking robot, like Christine said. And good old beer.
I think that I would achieve my goal of getting us all drunker. With you being like, you gotta be Christian-like and all this bullshit. So mission accomplished for me.
Mark, just stare into your camera real quick. Look at those aquamarine eyes. Look at that. Man, oh man.
Do you have a filter on to
no, those are
accentuate
dreamy eyes.
Beautiful?
Good God. I know, seriously, right now, my fiance is like, hey, how about you go fuck Mark right now?
Dave, I want you to know the next time
There's a crush brewing.
I'm just going to be grabbing your nipples like crazy.
So like any other show.
We'll look forward to that. Yeah, like most of the other
What's
shows.
happening?
Yeah, this is taking a turn.
It's LGBTQAnon.
Hey,
oh my God, callback.
We're all friends here. I'm just trying to get Mark laid. Once this is all done. No, not me. By ladies who come to who are like, hey, look at that guy. To our 3 audience members, one of them being Mark's mom.
Oh wow, there's only 3 this week. There were 4 last week.
To be fair, we got like 16. I think Mitch McConnell, as always, he's one of the most destructive forces in the history of modern politics. But him saying that there should be a blue state bailout is not only offensive, it's also wrong, because I believe that many of the states that need the most assistance are swing states, like Michigan and Florida, so that's also bad politics. And he's being disingenuous because he doesn't actually believe this, he's just using this as a bargaining chip. So he can be like, oh, I conceded something. So, fuck that guy. I hope Amy McGrath beats him. If you have the means, please donate to Amy McGrath.
I have.
Great.
Do that.
She used to be a pilot. She's awesome. So in summation, I love Tammy Baldwin and Amy McGrath, and I'm gonna grab Dave's nipples.
You do it
Christine
every
does
week when
not
we were
like
improvising, my friend, and it didn't feel good, but you know, a certain portion of me believed that it did feel good, but it really hurt actually.
Yeah.
So
Which portion was that?
What? What is going on? When did this happen?
Not
What?
seen our show?
Hard truths are being exposed.
Yes. Does anyone have any last thoughts before we go this week?
That sounds dark.
I'm sure we'll all make it.
hey, we'll be
Thanks.
we'll be back in 2 weeks, everybody. Hey, keep drinking and have a fun political day. This is Inebriated.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys. I appreciate
Definitely the
you
last
guys.
one is keep drinking.
Yeah, please come back. I loved having you back.
Happy to be here.
And Christine, you do not look like you're 35.
I
And
look forward to your vice presidency.
yes, I look.
Yay!
I will see you guys in a couple weeks.